Decorations, trends that won't be used anymore next year. I want to show you here now to give you these tips, these suggestions, so that you don't decorate or renovate your house using a decoration that is theoretically already out of style. Hello everyone, how are you doing? All good? I'm Edipo, the architect, and in this video I want to show you 10 items, 10 decorations that are trending now, but that next year will definitely be out of style. Okay? I want to share my opinion with you here, without causing any arguments, without disrespecting your opinion or you disrespecting mine. I want to hear your opinion. I picked out 10 items here that, for example, if you shared with me or hired me to do a project for next year, because this year I'm already fully booked, I wouldn't use any of these items here. However, it's a matter of taste, okay? For me, I wouldn't use them. Maybe for you, you have it at home, you think it's really nice, and that's totally fine. All right, guys? I respect your view, your taste, but I want to debate, I want to discuss with you these 10 items here that, in my opinion, won't be used anymore next year. Let's go to the first one. Kitchen countertop made of porcelain tile. I've even had some projects using porcelain tile for the kitchen countertop. But after some time, some clients told me that they regretted using it. Look at the first item I'm bringing to you here. I think it might even spark a good debate here. Our kitchen countertop made of porcelain. First, I want to tell you the following. There are some porcelain models that you can't find in marble, granite, quartz, or any other material, okay? The style of the porcelain, the effect it brings, the design it has, the print, you just can't find that in any other material. That's why some clients choose porcelain for their countertops, specifically because of that exclusive porcelain style. So that's why they made that choice. However, a lot of people don't think it's cool. They don't think it's a good idea to use porcelain on the kitchen countertop for a special reason, okay? It's not because of the design, because that's really nice. It's because it's very fragile, especially those little corners of the porcelain. And I agree with those people. And I'm sure you'll agree with me, okay? Why I wouldn't use a porcelain countertop in a new project of mine anymore? It's not because of the durability of porcelain. Quite the opposite. Porcelain is a product that's very resistant to stains, temperature, water, anything you put on it. It's very durable. The only downside that makes me not use porcelain in a new project for next year, in your house, for example, is actually its durability. Anything that hits the corner there, since it's a product that has a sharp edge, right? That 90-degree angle there, you know, that corner. Anything that hits that corner of the porcelain tile, a pressure cooker, a pot of water, or other daily items will break it. And then, to repair that porcelain tile, it won't be the same as before. So this is an item I wouldn't use for next year, and I want to know your opinion. If you have porcelain tile in your house, do you regret having installed a porcelain countertop in your kitchen? For bathrooms, I actually recommend it, and it looks really nice and cool, especially because of the variety it offers, right? On its surfaces, you can do a lot of things. Now, for kitchens, I wouldn't recommend you use it for next year with the more current decorations. Comment below, would you use a porcelain countertop for your kitchen? If I talked about the porcelain countertop, now I want to talk about the dark-colored countertop. Okay, we know that there is the São Gabriel black granite, the Ubatuba green granite, which are the most used granites because of their value, because they're really cheap, but it's a very dark color. Now, I don't want to talk to you about price, because if we're going to talk about costs here, obviously I think no other material will beat granite when it comes to making your kitchen countertop in terms of cost. Granite is one of the cheapest materials you can use for your kitchen countertop and still have good decor. It's durable in the long run, okay? We know that granite is durable. It's a product you'll put in your kitchen, on your countertop, and then forget about it. Forget it. After installation, it's permanent, right? So I don't want to talk about the durability of the material itself. That's not what I want to talk to you about, but what I want to bring up now is the product's design. Why wouldn't I recommend you use a dark-colored countertop for your kitchen? First, it will make your countertop too dark. You'll end up having to use dark cabinetry as well, for example. If you use both dark stone and dark cabinetry, you'll make the environment way too dark. And that's the main reason why I wouldn't recommend you use a dark colored countertop. Just pay attention, guys. I just don't recommend you use it in a new project precisely because of the aesthetics. It's not due to the product price or the proven durability, especially granite. But the dark color on the countertop, if you're already using dark cabinetry, if you already have a dark floor, why use a dark countertop as well? You're going to make your space too dark, especially because we're talking about a kitchen. We're talking about a space that needs lighting. We need a bright environment. It's a kitchen, guys. It's not a bedroom. It's not a television room. It's a kitchen. It needs to be a bright space. So you can prepare food, cook. There's the stove, the oven. So in a new project, I wouldn't recommend using a dark colored countertop. However, I know very well that there are projects where using a dark color on the countertop looks really beautiful. Okay? As long as I'm in favor, now I'll say the opposite of what I just said. I'm in favor of using a dark colored countertop. As long as your floor is a light color and your cabinetry is also a light color. And when I talk about cabinetry, I'm referring to the base cabinets and the upper cabinets, everything made of wood. All the cabinetry in your kitchen we use in a light color, and especially use cool white or neutral white lighting and plenty of lighting. So that the dark, this dark black countertop doesn't end up absorbing too much of the lighting. So I agree with you on that. But it's also a type of decor, a style, and I'd like to hear your opinion about it. If you have this product on your countertop, there's no problem at all. It's an excellent product. But for a new project, if you were remodeling your kitchen, you would still go with a black countertop, right? The most common are São Gabriel black, Ubatuba green, dark granites, and some very dark quartz options. Would you stick with this color for your countertop? Let me know in the comments. Full aluminum handles on the door, on your drawer, on your wall cabinet door, on your cabinet. That's also another product I wouldn't use anymore. When I'm talking to you, look, we have the first 3 items right here in the kitchen, okay? And I haven't even moved on to the others yet. When we're going to do the carpentry for the kitchen, the cabinet, the wall unit. For those who followed me here, especially in recent videos, you know that I don't like to use those full aluminum handles on the door. I don't like or enjoy it. Why? Because of the aesthetics. It might even be functional, but aesthetically, no. And there were comments here that I read from you guys that those who have this handle on their cabinetry, it's hard to clean. It comes loose easily as you pull it, right? Because of the glue. It's usually glued on. Some are even screwed in. Anyway, over time, it needs a bit of maintenance. So I'm not a fan. I don't like to use a full aluminum handle on the door, on the drawer, or on the cabinetry. What I like to use, I use and recommend. It's to use the door itself as a handle, okay? Or maybe a more discreet little handle, something cleaner, more subtle. So you don't take away the beauty of your cabinetry. Imagine, you chose a beautiful color for your cabinetry. Really beautiful. It matches the stone, it matches the floor. Then you go and put a handle all the way across your door. Did you ruin the look of your cabinetry? So, it's also something I wouldn't use. It's a decoration I would never use in a new project if you hired me to do it. But I want to hear your opinion. If you have this handle in your house, is it good? Is it functional? And would you keep it in a new kitchen renovation project? Many people will agree with me on this, which is what? Various types of flooring in your home, for instance. You enter and see it. Porcelain tile in the living room, a different one on the balcony, another in the kitchen, vinyl in the bedrooms, and a unique style in the bathroom. Can you imagine that mess? So look, having different types of flooring, right? In your house, in your apartment, you walk into your place and you have vinyl flooring all over your living room. In the kitchen and balcony, it's porcelain tile. In the bedroom, vinyl. And in the bathrooms, traditional porcelain tile, and so on. Or you walk in and see porcelain tile in both the living room and on the balcony, right? Or maybe the balcony suddenly has a lower floor with one type of porcelain tile and the kitchen has another. And then, in the bedrooms, you put in laminate or vinyl flooring. So this mixing, this amount of different types of flooring in just one house in this case, right? I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't use it in a new project. Ideally, you should have at least one type of flooring in the kitchen, living room, television room, sitting room, and balcony. Maybe even the same in the laundry room. If your kitchen is connected to your laundry room, then in the bathrooms, you're free to choose. And also in the bedrooms, because there's a door separating the living room and bedrooms, and the hallway and bedrooms, bathroom will always have a door dividing it, so I would always use one type of flooring throughout the whole house. Living room, balcony, laundry room, television room, living room, and kitchen, bathrooms. Porcelain tile is fine, or a different one, and vinyl or laminate flooring in the bedrooms, correct? But using several types of flooring in a house or apartment, I don't think that's cool, okay? And I would also like to hear your opinion. Are you one of those people who prefers to use just one type of flooring throughout the whole house, even if it goes into the bedrooms too? Or are you like, Edipo, I don't agree with your point of view. At home, my living room, balcony, kitchen, and bedrooms all have different flooring types. I want to hear your opinion, okay? Here, we're exchanging ideas, we're talking about suggestions, tips, and different opinions. I'm sharing mine and I want to hear yours in the comments. Floral or really flashy wallpaper, you know, that kind of wallpaper that's almost tacky. Let's talk about how many elements it has, right? When I talk about wallpaper, that's really flashy. I'm talking about those wallpapers that there are flowers, there's that landscape, there are a bunch of pictures, there are a lot of decorative elements on the wallpaper, and then the image of this wallpaper ends up being tiring. Imagine having a clean living room, really soft, really light, neutral colors, and then boom, you put a flashy wallpaper there. It's the only thing that's going to get attention in your living room decor, okay? When I tell you this, I want you to understand that wallpaper is a really good decorative element, okay? It's a wild card in decor. See this? It's wallpaper, not exposed concrete. You guys always ask me in the videos, that type of wall behind you where you make the videos and all, what color is it? What kind of exposed concrete is that? It's actually wallpaper made to look like concrete. And which wallpaper do I recommend for new projects? Either a model like this one or a wallpaper with a linen finish. Okay, what is a linen finish? It's that material where you run your hand over the wallpaper, over the fabric, and you get that feeling like you're touching linen. You know, this is the best one in my opinion, okay? It's the best wallpaper product you can put in your house, in your bedroom, in your living room, in your sitting room, all right? Now, using wallpaper with a lot of elements, a lot of designs on it, I already think that's been out of style for a long time, okay? That's why I brought this product here, to get your attention and give you a tip, okay? LED behind the television. It was all the rage when they launched those television S with that lighting in the back, that colored LED. And you watch a movie, a game, and that light behind the television. Look, I know I might get a lot of disagreement for this item I'm bringing to you here, the LED behind the television. However, I want you to understand my point of view. If we're talking about a clean television room, a contemporary modern television room, where you used a nice floor, a cool panel carpentry, a beautiful curtain, and also a discreet wallpaper. Why put LED behind the television, tell me? Just to have that feeling of lighting behind it? I'm against you using an LED behind your television, especially a colored LED, okay? Let's leave this product here for our son's or daughter's room. Let's leave this product for that gamer room your son has in your house. Let's leave it for this environment or for that game room you have. Not in our living room, right guys? Not in our television room, not in our living room, right? Let's use only the television, no using the LED behind the television. Higher counter in the kitchen. This one also generated a lot of comments in the previous videos where I showed you this item, and I would really like to hear your opinion. A higher counter there on the kitchen countertop. Why use a high counter on the countertop by our cooktop, for example, right? More commonly, people use a countertop at the standard 90 centimeter height with the cooktop, and then raise that little L and have a higher counter so that on the other side you can have bar stools, right? Those taller stools so you can have a quick snack there, for example. Why wouldn't I recommend it in a new project if you hired me to do it? Often, listen closely to what I'm about to say. Many times we do it. We spend money to make this higher counter on our stone, on our countertop. In daily life, you don't use it. It just sits there as decoration. So I wouldn't recommend you use it if you're not used to having a quick snack or a quick coffee. If you don't have that habit in your family's daily life, at your work, in your house, or in your apartment, I wouldn't recommend it. Now, if you do have it, for example, then I agree with you about using this higher counter in the following situation. You have the countertop in your kitchen, your cooktop is there, and right here is the table, okay? You live in an apartment, your living room is combined with the kitchen, it's small and everything. So, I already agree with you about using the higher counter. For what? To protect, right? Having the cooktop near your table provides a certain sense of security, whether you realize it or not. Having a higher counter, that's the only positive point, the only reason why I would use a higher counter. Otherwise, if I designed your kitchen, I wouldn't use a higher counter. Now, it's not just because you have that higher counter there. Just because you're seeing me talk here, you're going to tear it down, you're going to get upset, sad because I'm saying this. Quite the opposite. What I just told you a little while ago and at the beginning of the video, these are opinions, these are points of view. I'm saying that if you hired me and in the project I was going to do for you, in your kitchen, if a flat countertop without the higher bar would fit, I would do it. Now, if your apartment is a studio, living room, and kitchen together, and I realized that you needed some protection between the cooktop area and the table, of course I would use it. I'm not telling you it's out of style. I'm not telling you that you shouldn't use it. Some projects allow it, others don't, but I prefer not to use it in new projects. Now I have a question for you. Do you use a range hood on your stove, on your cooktop? I recently did a project here. In fact, I even showed some photos and videos of it on Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, follow me. The link is down here as well. There's a lot I post there that I can't show you here on YouTube, all right? I can show the day-to-day of the construction there, but not here. And then, in this project I did, we left the outlet for the range hood separate, especially over there. It was a U-shaped countertop in this client's project, and there was at the end of this countertop the specific outlet, the specific space to install the range hood. We left the electrical outlet there and everything is all set. And then, when the client went, we even suggested some range hood models for him to buy, to put in the kitchen, so it would look good and match the project. Having a cooktop or stove doesn't mean any range hood will work. Maybe you'll like it too. Then he asked me, Edipo, how long has it been? This project has been going for about 6 months. He still hasn't installed the range hood to this day, believe it or not. It's been almost 6 months now and he still hasn't put in the range hood. And do you know what he said to me? I spoke with him recently. Edipo, I don't really miss having the range hood here. I'm not missing having a range hood in my kitchen here. I make breakfast, I make lunch, I make afternoon snacks, dinner, I use the oven, I do everything here, and I don't miss the range hood. What do I want you to understand? It's not that range hoods are outdated or can't be used in projects. That's not the case. Pay attention. There are kitchen situations in certain projects where there's very good air circulation and it won't interfere with your cooking, so there's no need to use a range hood. I got this feedback from the client, from the person who actually has this situation in their home. I have a range hood here at home, but to be honest, we don't use it very often. So, it's a product that in your new project, you have to leave the connection point there, the electrical point, to connect the product when it's installed. But you don't necessarily have to install it right away. What I can tell you is try it out first. In your daily life, start using it, start enjoying your new property, your new kitchen. If you realize, wow, I'm going to need the range hood, you can have everything ready, but don't buy the product itself yet. Do you know why? Because it's very expensive. There are range hoods that cost 1,500 reais. There are range hoods for 2,000 reais. There are range hoods for 5,000 reais. There are range hoods at all kinds of prices. So sometimes 5,000 reais for a range hood you liked, it could be invested in the countertop, the lighting, the cabinetry, and so on. Okay? So that's a perspective I want you to have with me here. Keep the electrical outlet in place, but don't install it yet. Use the space first, then decide if you need it. A gourmet faucet on your kitchen counter. Are you someone who likes that? Do you use a gourmet faucet on your counter? Or are you one of those people who think it's just a big bulky thing? I did a survey here on the channel in the community tab asking you, gourmet faucet, would you install it in your kitchen? Yes, Edipo, I like it. It's cool. No, it's just big and bulky. What do you think? You're going to renovate your kitchen. You're going to make a brand new kitchen. Would you use a gourmet faucet in your kitchen? Tell me here. No, Edipo, it's a big bulky thing. Look, I received, it was almost a tie there. If you go to the community tab here, you'll find that poll there. It was almost a tie, 51%, 49%. Up to the moment I checked, okay? It could probably go up or down for those who use it and those who don't. But if you've been following me here for a long time, you know that I'm not in favor of using a gourmet faucet in the kitchen. For a balcony, I agree. Now, for the kitchen, I'm in favor of using a cleaner, lighter, softer faucet. Something that doesn't draw as much attention as a gourmet faucet. Why? A gourmet faucet has size and arch and is glamorous. It really attracts attention. And that's not the impression I want to give you in a new project. I want harmony. I want not just the faucet, but all the elements in your kitchen to be in harmony. And when you install a gourmet faucet, it draws attention, a gourmet faucet. So think carefully about whether a gourmet faucet will really suit your home or not. I'm not saying you can't use it. Pay attention. You can use it without any problem. If it's your style, if you like it, go ahead and install it. There's no problem at all. Let's be happy. And also, since I've talked a lot about kitchen items and now about the gourmet faucet, pay attention. Do you see the sink that's showing up here on the screen for you? I posted this sink model over on our TikTok here at Arc7 Decorações, and this sink model went viral. This video got over 1 million views, thousands of comments, likes. Anyway, it got a lot. Why? Because this is a multifunctional sink. It's a type of sink that you don't see just anywhere. It has a gourmet faucet on it, but it's a lighter, cleaner looking gourmet faucet. It has 2 waterfall outlets there for you to clean and wash food. And it also has a really good flow for everyday use. Glass rinser too. There's a glass rinser here, which is cool. So if you want to take it up a notch, I even like to joke around. I joked around a lot with the guys when I posted this video on our TikTok and Instagram. If you want to go viral too, if you want to have a kitchen that stands out, install a sink like this and see for yourself. There are various sizes and prices. If you want it bigger, obviously it's going to be a little more expensive. Standard sizes like 60 or 50 cost less. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed it, liked it. We're going to exchange these ideas here. These are things you may agree with me on or not. It's no problem at all. Comment if you agree or not with these 10 items I showed you here, these decorations, trends that will go out of style in 2025. Leave a comment. I want your thoughts. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. And don't forget to leave a like as well, okay? I hope you all enjoyed it and liked it. A hug to everyone, and I'll see you in our next video.